Hey, welcome to the 2-minute drill. My name's Bernard Muhammad. Tonight is me and D Hamp. Christian Jones can't make it tonight. Hey, what's up, team? How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, bro. Hey, we here to talk about Caleb Williams and his performance in game number 5 against the Panthers. You know, I was just thinking we did the post-game show. Quick, who one of the co-hosts, and did a commentary that I made into a little short, and I thought it was hilarious, where he kind of made like fun of how some Chicago Bears fan who just disliked Caleb. And he was like, man, you know, the guy sucked. He threw for 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, I just wish they just kept the other guy, man. He just plain sucked, right? And it's funny because you have actually pretty much seen people saying stuff like that. But with that said, hey, what do you think about Caleb's performance, this week?
Yeah, Caleb, man, I'll be honest, team. Caleb looks he's growing. He's getting better and better every week. But this week specifically, I can just see just confidence. I know we made some statements. I remember last time I was on about some things he said during before the season started, like, hey, I don't, he's just confident. He's a confident quarterback, which is always amazing at that position. But the offense, things are like slowing down, speeding up tempo-wise. The offense and the offense coordinator, you can tell they're doing some things. But the game is slowing down for Caleb. He always appeared to know, where to go with the football. But now you can tell, like, hey, he really knows his offense. And it's showing up, whether it's, us moving the ball, moving the chains. We just got to worry about the new factors. I don't know if you heard, but he's been talking on the radio and in his interviews talking about how the stadium is just too loud. So I found that to be funny.
Yeah, hey, that's a good problem to have. Of course, you have to try to get them to make sure they don't have, false starts if the stands are too loud. But that's a great point. And you said something, and I was interested in what you said, if you could explain a little more. What do you mean he knows where to go with the ball? What does that entail?
Yeah. So I've never been a guy that watched the games and just assume that we know the play call. Because coaches, we have game plan during the week. And during the week, we may say, hey, when we get this look, we're going here with the ball. That's practice during the week, but we all know on game days things look a little different. But Caleb, like, he's confident. He sees something, he's reacting to it. Whether it's changing the play at the line or a protection, he appears to be confident in where to go with the ball. And what I mean by that, just pre-snap we see something, just like quarterback play. Pre-snap you see something, you got a play call. Right away if it's a good play or a bad play, and it's just like knowing, hey, if this look stays this way, I know what I'm doing with the ball. If I get something else, I'm reacting to it. And it's just I'm watching Caleb just perform. It's I can tell he's confident.
Okay, yeah, that's a great answer. I know over the last few years, I've watched a couple of quarterbacks in Chicago, and it was times when I would watch them play that I was wondering, did they know what they was going to do? Even after the ball snapped, right? It was like, do they even know what they're going to do? All right. And it looked kind of confusing. So that's a great point, that do you know where you're going to go with the ball? And I know sometimes that's not always going to be there, but you should have some idea what you're going to go with the ball. I mean, primarily, my background's a running back, and, I have coached for some years. But I would say even as when I ran the ball, I just didn't run the ball just to run. I actually knew where it was supposed to go, and I would actually see stuff like, okay, as even the guy coming to me, can I get there? Can I get him to move there, right? I'm actually seeing it. But to me, the more I did that, I didn't know what was going on then, but I realized the game slowed down because it always seemed like, it's funny, it seemed like it was slow motion until I scored. And I never heard nothing, right? Like, I don't know if you experienced that too, like, man, it's just like nobody else was out there. Then if I scored, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you hear the crowd, but during the play, you don't hear anything. And I can remember younger when the game was fast, right? I'm like, oh man, but and I think that's great if it slows down for a quarterback because you make better decisions.
Yeah, for sure. It's it's easy to say, hey, I know what to do with the ball and know what to go with the ball. And we know like the NFL is known for when they get rookie quarterbacks, we're gonna throw everything at them. We seen that the first 2 weeks. Expect that week 2 Houston defense. Caleb was back there comfortable, and right away, coach said, "Hey, look, we got to change this up. We got to disguise some things, bring pressure, and that's hard for a rookie. We talking about a guy who's a lot of our rookies, not just rookies, but quarterbacks who playing football in these spread offense, they no huddle. And Caleb is one of those guys who just never been in a huddle. So his first time really getting in the huddle was when he got to the NFL. So being able to communicate, you see things, and just that takes some time. And these defensive coordinators and coaches, they know that when they see rookies, throwing a lot at them really understanding the offense and being able to check in and check out the plays, it takes time. And I just to see the progress being made weekly is I like the strides we're making right now.
Okay. Hey, thank everybody who tuned in tonight to the 2-minute drill. Hey, the 2-minute drill is a segment of Bears Banner where DeMarian Hampton and Cristen Jones, they specifically break down quarterback performance from the previous game. So you'll hear us all tonight talking about quarterback performance. What do you think about his footwork? Have you seen any improvement with his footwork? And how important is footwork?
Yeah, footwork is the most important thing. We talk about just accuracy and being an accurate quarterback, and I'm coaching quarterbacks all the time, and everybody wants the big arm, the strong, all that throwing. So your accuracy and your throwing power, it starts with your feet. Having your feet, whether that's a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop, whatever drop we're taking, being balanced is everything. So those, just your footwork is, amazing. So Caleb, we talk about Caleb, a guy who's very confident in the pocket. Mobile. We see him moving around in that pocket and making throws. I've seen very few quarterbacks who can move left and make the throws that Caleb makes. I can recall him throwing the ball down the field and escaping and rolling to the left. For a right-hand quarterback, we don't see that a lot. So we talk about being accurate and having that throwing power outside of the pocket. That's a plus for Caleb. But footwork, like I said, it starts there. If I'm my feet, my shoulders, my feet align, my shoulders align. That balance is everything. Weight distribution. So when we talk about accurate, people talk about the accurate quarterbacks and guys who have that throwing power. It's just they have great balance, footwork, and weight distribution from that back foot to the front foot.
Okay. Hey, one thing I do notice watching Caleb, and I'm no football quarterback guru, but I do study quarterbacks, is he looks like he's always ready to throw the ball. And I notice sometimes you have quarterbacks that, I've seen here in Chicago where they wouldn't be in a position like they really want to throw the ball, which sometimes I would say even led to some of their fumbles, right? Because you got the ball too low, right? And if you can't be ready to throw the ball, you got the ball all the way down to your waist and stuff like that, especially when the defense is actively moving and coming towards you. So he looks like he's always ready to throw. And even when he's scrambling, he's looking to throw the ball. And I know it's in last game, he actually got some men up the field on at least one play because I think they was expecting from the past from previous quarterback that he was going to take off. So they just ran up the field to block, but he actually threw the ball.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see that a lot. I was just going to bring it up. That man down the field, those penalties. Yeah, Caleb buys time and buys a lot of time, but like you said, his eyes are always downfield. I think the Bears do a good job of just we call it, I'm sure you're familiar with just scramble drills. Whatever route we're running, we see that quarterback start to scramble, forget that route, and we just have different rules, whether that's coming back to the ball, going up the field if I ran a short route, going to the sideline. We get, scramble drills right away. But Caleb, like you said, he's always looking to get the ball downfield. Caleb he's not a tall guy, which I can see, we can see him breaking that pocket a lot, but you can tell that's just who he is. And I can recall games going back to college when he's just always out of the pocket and not really looking to run, but looking to get the ball downfield.
Okay. Now, watching Caleb play these two games for sure, the Bears have been able to do something that I started criticizing them way back when they had Nagy, and I had a little clip I would show of me saying this. Chicago Bears cannot run a screen. Burn it. I've been saying that since 2020. The Bears have successfully ran screens recently. Even in Sunday game, they ran a very successful screen. I can't remember the yardage. We have it on the video clip we show where DeAndre Swift ended up being tackled on the 1 yard line on one of those screens. And I guess the interesting thing is they have made rotation with taking Nate Davis out, and I want to say Jenkins was out. And what has contributed to them being able to run successful screens, even with backup linemen?
Yeah. Well, I think I'll just go to the design for the screenplay. We typically want to throw screens to teams that's getting, just that quick flow, a lot of, penetration. So I will compare the screens that we've seen in the past. I'll even go to that first couple of weeks when teams don't really have to bring extra players to get to the quarterback. Screen's not going to work. If I'm only rushing 4, maybe 5, I'm throwing a screen, I still have, guys on the back end that can cover that screen. But when I'm saying, hey, that front 4 or that 5, they're not getting a lot of pressure, and I got to bring additional bodies, whether a nickel or, a safety, and I got to start bringing pressure, that's when the screens work best. Mm-hmm. So that, the best time to call that screen is when you're going to get some pressure from the defense.
Okay.
But if that defense never have to bring extra pressure, the screen is not going to work. So you're going to like this statement. I will contribute that to just us running the football.
Yeah.
Having that ability to run the ball and, the quick passing game, not getting a lot of pressure. Now defensive coordinators like, hey, I got to bring pressure. I got to get some type of penetration. And that's when the screens will start working for you.
Okay. Hey, let's run a few clips and we can kind of dissect some of the clips that we see. Hold on, let me bring this up. Where's that at? Yeah, they keep moving these screens around on me. Oh, you know what? It's not sharing. Hold on. Let me go back to sharing. Screen. There we go. Okay. So we have to hit share. Is that it? How did that get on the screen? Hold on. It's not supposed to be there. Share screen. There we go. Okay. I brought the wrong thing up. Okay. There we go. Let's run some plays. See what's going on. We don't have any sound on this. I muted the sound on this.
Huh? Yeah. Check out the line.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are they in right now? This is an interesting formation. It looks like they're in a single high safety.
Mm-hmm.
What's it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 on the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Then that single high safety. That's an interesting formation right there. The way they're kind of curved right there.
Yeah, yeah, and we just, my guess, again, we don't know the game plan, but we're seeing like, hey, that quarterback is at the line of scrimmage, and he's like, hey, interesting, you brought up the single high. That's a key. Like, hey, we got single high. That means we got an extra guy in the box. Let's get out of this run. Maybe it was a run call there. He probably gave a kill, or any call, whatever that call is, to let us know. Let's get out of this run, and get to a pass. That single high typically means we have more guys in the box.
Okay.
But we're gonna throw against this.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember this play, but I would say looking at this formation, the way they're playing, I'm assuming this guy here is going to run something over there, and this guy is DJ is going to clear. I'm assuming DJ either going to run straight to the flat, or DJ is going to run something to clear it out for him to go over in the corner. Let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. They brought across Roma Dunze across the field.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him underneath. Let me run that back. Now, you know what? Now, this is some stuff right here I'm looking at here. They're going to have to work on this with Rome. Rome is kind of telegraphing this play, if you ask me. Hold on, look at it. Look how he's kind of like, he stays right there, and he never stopped looking that direction.
Oh, that's a good catch.
Still nice execution. Nice throw. Nice throw.
Yeah.
This is beautiful here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We got to run this back.
Yeah.
We got to run this back.
Yeah.
He set this play up very nicely, just the way he looked off everybody, and the way this play design, it kind of almost confuses the secondary. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which springs DJ where he's wide open.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good play design.
Mm-hmm. I like when they get him on the edge like this.
Yep. I was just about to say that Caleb, he looks comfortable on the move, like moving, whether it's bootleg, he's just comfortable outside of that pocket.
Still got positive yards on that play. Rome had about 5 catches for 40 yards in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got to get him going. I'm waiting on that breakout game from him.
Me too. Yeah, that might have been a bad throw right there. Okay, that was tight coverage. That was a good read. That probably like about his third read in that progression. Like he went to the back. Was that the back? Another catch by Rome. He's getting the ball out of his hands pretty quick on some of these plays.
Uh-huh.
This that screen.
Yeah, I was just about to call it. Yep.
Okay. I liked he set that screen up well. He looked it off long enough to right there. He really set that up well. They had the guy come in motion. He looked at the guy, which frees these guys here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, look at the distance, and then the big boys get out there, throw a block. That's some good running by Swift.
Yeah, that's like you said. I think that's just good. That's good execution, good play design.
Mm-hmm.
Get the ball out.
Throw it to the tight end. If I remember this right, I haven't watched all this all 22. I think he go back to Komet on this one. I think he did. Okay, that was tight coverage there.
Yeah, what's helping them out, that pre-snap movement. A lot of young quarterbacks need it. You see, they put a guy in motion. That's just to help that quarterback see. You can see who's what type of coverage they're in. You can see who's blitzing, who's not, just off a simple motion. So that actually helps a lot.
Okay. Now, how difficult is this throw right here, Hamp? Hold on.
Oh yeah. So I said I wasn't gonna be the guy to compare, but I think this comparison is helpful here. I was critical with Justin Fields, not just the way he played, but the anticipation. I feel like he just never anticipated throws. And in a league, you have to anticipate these throws. Everybody's covered in the NFL. If you're open for a split second. So you have to anticipate throws. That throw, he read that coverage and he anticipated that throw, which we haven't seen. I haven't seen a Bears quarterback do that in some time. My favorite quarterback for the Bears has been Jay Cutler, and he's not I would say he's not a guy that anticipated throws. His arm was just big and strong enough.
Yeah.
So when he see it, he rifle it in there. Same thing with Justin Fields. I would say he had a big arm, and once you rely on that your entire life, you see it, then react to it. You don't really anticipate those throws, but that can be the downfall as well. Not anticipating throws, but that was like you said, that was a great read, and he had to anticipate that ball and put it on the sideline.
Okay, hey, let me rewind that so people could get an idea. What do you mean he anticipated that throw? For those who may not be familiar with what you mean by this. So right here, to me, he already knew he was going to commit. So he's right. He's already about to throw this ball. Okay. There he is. So this is where we would get in previous years. We would get stuff like there's nobody open. Well, because he anticipates the throw.
Yep.
He's about to throw the ball, but if you look at it technically, Komet is not open right there.
Nope.
But by the time he released the ball, Komet is wide open. Actually, if he had not lost balance, he would have scored.
Yep. So right there, if we don't press play, if you look at that, look at that corner. You have it's like a post wheel. Yep, that corner right there.
Right here. Okay.
That's all Caleb is looking at. He's looking at that guy. Most pro athletes they're superhuman. They can do things that most people can't. But there's no one on the planet who can close. What he's doing is he's closing on that post, that end breaking route, that dig, and that's all Caleb is looking at. I'm watching that corner. That corner close in on with that post, that dig that's being ran, and he knows right away, like, hey, I'm going to that wheel up the sideline.
Okay.
So that's the anticipated throw. Yep.
Okay, tucked and ran, got a few yards. Keep the sticks. He can in the play look like. Oh man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I mean, when you look at, man, you could explain it better than me, Ham. But if you look at this play, hold on, what he does, right? There even the pre-snap stuff, right? He see the matchup he likes.
Yep.
DJ 1-1 down here, right?
Yep. He knew he had one-on-one on that backside. and like you've been saying, like he just know he had to hold that safety to the DJ Moore side. He had to hold him.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a great job of looking them off, holding them, and yeah, that was easy.
Okay, let's run it.
Yep.
Man,
that was textbook.
That's beautiful because you know what you said about that safety. I didn't see it initially.
Mm-hmm. He had to, like you said, he looked them off. Caleb looked to his right, and that safety flew there.
Yeah, because even right here, the safety is starting to He's looking in on him, and he's thinking Caleb about to go to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So he started drifting over. Now he looks him over there, and he takes off over there.
Uh-huh. Yep. And that corner was probably expecting help from that safety, but that's just good. That's good play.
Mm-hmm. Picking up positive yards underneath pass to DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big play right there.
Mm-hmm.
He had a big one.
Man, that looks. Damn, I know that don't look like much. Let me go back. I know when we first see it, don't look like much, but he throws this is a little sidearm throw in a tight coverage.
Yeah. Yep. Bearing down people in his face.
Mm-hmm.
You had the screen you had up before you played the video.
Mm-hmm.
They have him listed as 6 foot, right? Like 6 foot?
I think they list him as 6'1".
6'1"? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and those guys are huge, rushing and just getting that ball out. May look easy and simple to us, but that's difficult. Those guys 6'3", 6'5", bearing down on him, and he's able to get that ball out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I like how calm he is. He's not getting happy feet. I mean, look how condensed that is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you know what's funny? That's a clean pocket.
Yeah.
Man, nice.
That time
also improvement I see also is as his drop backs seem more crisp and going straight back. I was critical, like you, especially last year. Our quarterback we had last year at times. I mean, I hate to do this, but I just want to bring it up. Where it was times when he was dropping back in the pocket, and he was dropping back in angles, and sometimes he would end up on the hash mark. And I can remember clearly, I think it was the Denver game. He dropped back in such an angle that he actually ran into the sack. That ended up being a sack fumble that I think it ended up scoring. And people were like, oh man, they just did block. Like, no, actually, he drifted back sideways. And I'm not seeing him like drifting to left or right. It seemed like he's more crisp in his spot because a lot of times like I said, I know you know better than me. When quarterbacks drift when they're going backwards, it may even make them feel like they're under more pressure because they're too close to the guys on the edges. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Yep. Quarterbacks, the old school way was, looking at it like a clock. That first step, making sure you get at 6 o'clock. Shotgun is the same thing. You're taking that 3-step out of gun. You still want to make sure that first step is at 6 o'clock because you're not drifting. And you just make your offensive line look bad, and it's so many things that come with that. We've been saying for our O line is bad and this, and sometimes we just we have quarterbacks, like you said, maybe drifting off the midline, or they are, holding the ball too long, and that can be frustrating. That can
Mm-hmm.
be for offensive line. That can be frustrating.
Okay. Let me roll this. We got a few more minutes, about a minute left on this clip. I think this is the next touchdown. No. Oh, you know what? That was interesting right there because I think that ball looked like it hit. If this the play I remember, it hit Cole Kmet in the back of his legs.
Mm.
Was that wrong? Whoever it was, they didn't look back.
Oh, even a play like that, that's a good throwaway. We probably look at that like, who is he throwing the ball to? He didn't take a sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's little things like that. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
another. Yeah.
Positive yards.
Yep. Eyes downfield. Eyes downfield.
I don't know how you got out of this one.
I don't know either.
That was a little low.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the one that hit Komet right there.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Nice throw. Okay, that was Kenan Allen. See, and he doing that a whole lot more too, taking his check downs than he did the earlier games.
Mm-hmm.
Man, another screen that worked. Screen to Komet. What's that, like 25 yards look like? Nice throw. DJ couldn't believe he dropped that one. Getting the big boy roam the ball, letting him work in space.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can skip past this. Oh, I think that was the end of it. Yep. Man, those were some nice clips. We ended the game with 20 for 30. I think that was what it was. 304 yards, 2 TDs, 126.2 passer rating, 69% completion rating.
Yeah.
The week before we looked at 17 out of 23, 157 yards, 1 TD, quarterback rating 106.5, 73.9%. If actually I did the math on that, if DJ caught that ball, he would have been at a 72% completion.
Yeah, it's I like what we're getting. I like what we're getting. I really believe the first couple of weeks that defense was just tough, and sometimes that's just the reality. But I think we're playing some good football offensively. Caleb is, they're doing some things that he's used to. Tempo, offense, let him get right to the line and call some things. So just, making sure he's comfortable, especially early in the game. Easy completions, getting that confidence.
Okay. Hey, did you ever wear a wristband?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I'm in favor of wristbands.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been a guy that's just in favor of wristbands.
Okay.
Whether it's the coach signaling, we've had signaling numbers. We've had times when players just rotate in the huddle and bring the number with them. You just read the number of that play. So yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I think he started wearing wristband. I want to say it was game 3 when he put the wristband in, which was the game where his first 300 yard game. And I know people, Chicago Bears fans, because we so used to our quarterbacks being subpar, really, that we applaud mediocre performances as well at times, right? But I think And that's why we really haven't had quarterbacks that consistently in recent years they even throw for 300 yards, right? But we might have did some, like applaud, like, okay, that was okay. But to me, you play it might have been an opponent that some people didn't think was all that great, but it doesn't matter because guess what? You put that dagger in them quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a subpar opponent and you only walked away with 12 points, then I'm like, man, that's all you could get is 12 points on them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give an example of something is Sunday night football game. Dallas might have had what 12 guys out, even had Michael Parsons. It was quite a few guys out of the defense that did not play.
Mm-hmm.
And your offense was granted about 3 turnovers, and you still can only get you still got less than 20 points. So that all to me makes a whole lot too. How do you perform in those moments, even when the team look like defensively you should have some advantage? Well, you have to take advantage of that. If you don't take advantage of that, then when do you ever play good, right? I mean, when you play the better defenses, that's when you should fall off, right?
Yeah.
But when you play the defenses that you say, hey, you got advantage on them, then that's when you get those 350-yard games, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, three touchdown games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Just taking advantage of those opportunities. I don't think we well, we made it to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman and and who was the other guy? Rex and who started most
Jim
of those
McMahon. Jim McMahon was the 2 quarterbacks that made it.
Oh yeah. Jim McMahon, yeah. So yeah, that's just we take what we can get here. Good defense, but I really think we landed. We landed with a franchise player with Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally going to, look like the rest of the NFL with an offense that can score, and still having that top defense. So, yeah.
You know what I'm amazed at is the fact that he's able to audible this early and can plays. I mean, 5 games in. I mean, I've seen players, even on other teams, that they're not audible in no plays until maybe second season or late into that first year. Matter of fact, as dynamic as Washington has looked, I mean, most of it is just one read and run. If that read ain't there, just run.
Yeah. That's it. I wish I had the, I don't know. There was rumors, and I wish I can fact check this, but like way before the draft, Caleb was up here visiting Hallis Hall, meeting with coaches. I think the Bears, we did a good job of holding off who was going to pick.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the way he's picking up things offensively, there had to be some type of, I don't know. I wish I could, He's real comfortable at the line of scrimmage. Like I said, that pre-snap, whether it's protections or getting those play calls in, he's real comfortable, and that takes some time. But I will say, and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if the radio in their helmet, I think it goes off. They can't hear their offensive coach. I think it's 17 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 17 or when a play clock is at 17 or 18, it just shuts off. So that's all him up there. And that may be another reason they get into the line right away, no huddle, so they can see some things and talk to him more. But after that 17 or 18 seconds, he's all on his own. He's making the checks, making the protection calls. He's doing some good stuff at the line of scrimmage pre-snap.
Okay. Hey, thank everybody who tuned in tonight to the 2-minute drill, where we specifically talk about quarterback performance. That makes a difference too on how fast they get to the line, right? Because I want to say that was I'm trying to think what game that was. It was the one where they ran the play in the goal line where they tried to run the speed option. That particular game, but anyway, in that game, they got the ball, they got the play in real late, and I remember Caleb saying when he got the play and looked at it, he was like, "Oh, no, we need to change this." But he was like, they were already under 10 seconds at that point. Once he, by the time he like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And like, okay, it's too late to change this now. I guess even with as he get more experience, especially at that time of game, I believe that was either first or second quarter. Bears don't use timeouts before halftime anyway, but that's when you just call timeout, right? Like, hey, coach, I don't. That I don't think that's gonna work, right? And also, I think one of the other significant things I've seen in his growth is him, like I said, one taking an easy pass and realize that everything will have to be a fantastic play. And also, what you mentioned early about sometimes it's easy to just throw it. Just throw it away. You can throw it away. Yeah, it's okay. We seen quarterbacks here that just don't know when the play was dead. The play is dead. It's okay. Throw it away. Or you know what? You could take the sack and be done with it. You're trying to fall into the ground and still trying to throw the ball, right?
Never ends. We got to win that way. That week one. Week one against Tennessee. That's how we won the game.
Sure did, didn't we?
Yeah. Just take that sack. We probably, we losing that game easily.
Yeah, you're referring to the Will Levis. That's Will Levis. The Will Levis interception. Just take the sack. Those are kind of bonehead plays. So I like his maturity, and so far he hasn't shied away from the public. We actually hearing him on the radio.
Yeah.
We haven't heard a Bears quarterback on a radio. I don't know when. To actually engage the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have to go back to, I would say maybe Jim Miller or somebody because Rex didn't talk to the public. Color wasn't really that of talkative of a person. I mean, I would say you may have to go back to Jim Miller, to a guy who really was available for the press. So you see a guy talking to the press.
Yeah.
He's being available when he comes to his post-game conference. This recall on plays, to me, I know some people think I'm fanboying, but I'm that must be honest what I'm saying. His recall of plays in the interview is amazing. For him not to have looked at the film, then he's like, you're talking about that play. The safety was doing this, or they was in a single high. I mean, how important is that recall?
Yeah, that's that just shows, I think, how invested and locked in he is as a professional. I remember the Rams coach. They said the Rams coach he remembers every play call, when he called it, why he called it, and that just that was amazing for me. And this is similar to that, like knowing, remembering plays, what happened on that play. That just shows, I think, a guy's a true professional, and he's invested. It's not just he's not just out there running the play, but there's a guy, like you said, who's he's invested. Just speaking to as far as speaking to the press, to have the confidence. We know Chicago is a big market, big media. To have the confidence to come out and speak like, hey, y'all are too loud. I cannot hear the play that's being called through my headset on third down. And the radio personalities are like, that's true. You go to Arrowhead in Kansas City, the stadium is silent on third down for Patrick Mahomes. That that was just a comparison they had. And I believe, it's for him to come out and say that, I think, I know he won me over. Like, hey, shut up. I need to get this play in. I need to hear this play. So him saying that is, just also shows some maturity.
Yeah. You know, one of the things in sports is, in anything in life, is your confidence. Right now, confidence don't always mean you're gonna be successful at something, but at least give you one up on it.
Yeah.
And he, from watching him so far, he has whatever that it is, right? To me, it doesn't mean you're gonna be great, but he has whatever it is. He kind of got it. Yeah. And we just seen players in sports that even you playing and other things, that you like, man, they got it. Or even yourself, I know people watch you and say, man, D Hampton, that he got it. He understands it. And I know so many fans, they felt they've been burnt in the past, or they kind of skeptic, or maybe they're upset about other players being let go or traded, things like that. But I think pretty soon, and I don't know what's going to happen Sunday, but I think pretty soon you're going to realize this guy may have it.
Yeah.
And it's just all the tangibles and the intangibles things. I was looking at that catch to DJ, and he ran down there and he was pumped up and he was mic'd up and he was like, great job, everybody. And Braxton Jones turned around and said, great job by you, Caleb. And he said, no, great job by you. Then he said, no, great job by you. Then he went to the sideline and told all the guys, great job. Yeah. And that is so important in leadership, right? That shows leadership. You didn't just say, hey, I got it out of. He involved himself in the celebration, but the guys felt happy even for him to turn around and say, hey, great job by you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. And I love seeing that because, like I said, we had guys around here sometimes that I thought at times they was never engaged on the sideline.
Yeah. I went on and said my favorite Bear quarterback has been Jay Cutler, but Jay Cutler is also, he's a guy that, he'll go on the sideline, sit down, won't say nothing to nobody. He get to the podium after the game and, just nonchalant, like he don't want to be there. It's this breath of fresh air. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Caleb is.
Yeah. So what do you look for this Sunday? I know this is going to be a game. You got some challenges. You're going to be in London.
London game, yeah.
London game. You playing extremely early it's early their time, which will probably be about maybe 3 or 4. It would have been 3 or 4 if they was here, but it'll be about 9 something their time when we watch it. But anyway, you're playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team who's struggling offensively. I mean, what do we get out of this game offensively?
Yeah, I want to build. Like, I think we're gonna build from the last couple of weeks. We're talking about Swift, who's a guy that we was all high on. I know I was extremely high on Swift coming, and we didn't see that production early, but the last couple of weeks, he's been running the ball. He's been Chunkin's got the time. It's gonna be 8:30 our
Chicago time.
I think it's gonna be just able to just be productive on offense. So we've seen Caleb playing well, but we gotta credit our offensive coordinator. He's doing some things that's just we building up on, whether it's like the pre-snap movements, the moving Swift and to receiver and putting them in motion. So he's doing some things. I think I just want to see us build off that, run the ball. I'm excited to see. The NFL, once they get film on you, they talk about just being able to play through. They're professionals as well. They get paid on the other side of the ball as well. So I'm just, I'm looking forward to just see us get better every week.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think we mentioned something earlier about getting to the line much faster or the up-tempo. The last 2 games, especially the last game, the offense also looked more fluent because they didn't have all these pre-snap setbacks, penalties. I believe they had one in this game where I want to say one game they had about 7 pre-snap penalties, and that's frustrating for everybody. I mean, you come and then we know what the snap is, and then somebody jump, and then now you're behind the change. Maybe it's 1st and 15. Then they'd had drives where it's 2 pre-snap penalties, right? Like, come on, man. Now we got to get chunk of yards, right? And now it's causing the quarterback, right? And I think in his at those stages, he's looking for the first down. But I think now he realized all I need to do is get some positive yards. So now it's 2nd and right. And if you had a pre-snap, in this case, if you get 5, it's 2nd and 15. Versus if you miss it and it's now 2nd and still 15, right? Or maybe you get 8, right, and cut it down. So I'm looking for the Bears to keep running the ball and to keep getting Caleb to get the game to slow down for him, because it looked like the last 2 weeks it looked like it slowed down for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, so hey, I'm looking forward to it. Hey, is anything else you want to share before we shut it down for the night?
Oh man, I think we touched on some stuff. Yeah, more importantly, just let's looking forward to coming back next week and and having some positive things to talk about with Caleb in this offense. No, that's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, hey, I'm looking for some more positive things, man. And hey, and I want to let the people out there watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. That doesn't mean Caleb's not going to have a bad game this season. He may have consecutive good games and a couple of bad games. That's all part of the process. And if you want to develop a quarterback, you got to let him play. You learn a little bit from watching. But you know what? There's a lot of good coaches who were 3rd-string quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the talent.
Yeah.
Right. And they learned a lot from watching, but once they got on the field, you was like, give them back that clipboard. But I think we finally got our guy, and as one Chicago fans to be patient and watch it grow. And you know what? We can't reverse the trade of players we got rid of. So hey, you might as well go ahead and embrace this and get on board, man. I think we about to be finally a franchise that we could say, man, or other teams be like, damn, man, they got that mofo now, man. Well, until next time, peace.